Nosy Neighbors fans, it is Jessica Carden with Murdoch Manwaring Company, a real estate group here in Idaho Falls with Keller Williams Realty East Idaho, which is a mouthful. Your nosy neighbors. Thanks for joining us today. This is a really cool place. I have no idea what to expect or what's going on, but I'm super interested. We are at Mountain River IV Health and Wellness. So this is an IV therapy and more things we're going to learn as we go on office. And I had no idea what IV therapy really was, and we're going to learn all about that today. So thanks for joining us.
Sounds great.
By the way, great. By the way, if you have a moment right now and you love local businesses, would you take a moment, which I'm going to do right now, take a moment and share this video. Right here, hit post. There we go. Share this video and so that we can get more exposure for our local businesses, and go back and take a look at some of the videos we've done. We've got great businesses and great business owners here in the Idaho Falls area. Take a look and head out to their shops. And if you love real estate, like we do, head over to the Murdoch Manwaring Company page and check it out. We just put our stats video up for the month. We do that every month about the 15th, and just talk about what's going on in the real estate market. It is a crazy time. You guys, rates have gone up and they will continue to rise. This is your last chance. If you are not in your forever home, this is the time to call us and talk about what it would look like for you to sell your home and get into your forever home. Interest rates are the key to the long-term success of real estate, and selling at the peak of the market is how you buy low and sell high. So we'd love to talk to you about that. Head on over there. Okay, let's get in there and let's talk to Mountain River IV Health and Wellness, and let's find out what these guys are at. Oh, we are right here on 25th Street. So we're right across the 25th from the Behavioral Health Center, right next to Connections Credit Union, right behind the mall. Super easy to get to, just right off of Channing Way. So this is an easy way. Just come right on in here and you're going to head right in these doors. Let's go take a look. Oh, this is the door you open, I guess. This is where we're headed. Let's go downstairs. Well, fancy meeting you guys here.
Well, welcome.
So we're the Nosy Neighbors. Wonder if we can ask some questions about Mountain River IV.
You sure can.
Perfect. Tell us who you guys are.
So I'm Pam Johnson. This is my wife Pam.
Hi.
And this is Lynette.
Lynette.
And yes, this is Lynette. She's a fabulous member of our team. We are the owners of Mountain River IV Health and Wellness.
Okay, so I have a million questions. So buckle up, Buttercup.
Shoot.
When you say IV therapy, what is Mountain River IV? What is it? What is someone going to come here for?
So when people come here to Mountain River IV Health and Wellness, we provide a lot of different treatments that revolve around IVs, but that's not all that we do.
Like intravenous, like
yeah, we put a needle in one of your veins,
okay,
and we put some medications, vitamins and minerals into an IV bag, and we run that into your body over 40 minutes to an hour. And so it's a very relaxing procedure, and we put a lot of different things in there that help people with a lot of different things. So we give IVs for people that are not ill, that just need a pick-me-up with some vitamins that are put right into their veins, to other people that have a lot of chronic issues as well.
Okay, I have 1,000 questions right off of those things. But if they want to know, how do they make an appointment? What are your hours? And how do they make an appointment if they want to know?
I'm going to let you talk to Pam on that one.
Okay.
So.
Transfer to Pam.
So, transferring to me.
Pam, tell us your role as well.
I am a patient liaison and working on marketing.
Okay.
We first started, it was just Brian and I. He did all the medical, I did everything else. About a month ago, we were able to bring Lynette on.
Hooray, Lynette!
So, Lynette's going to be your key. She,
FYI,
yes.
it's Lynette's birthday, but I won't sing. Okay.
Happy birthday, Lynette.
Happy birthday.
So, Lynette is the one that's going to answer the phone. You can go online. mountainriverhealth.net.
Link below.
Link below. Okay. Phone number 208-528-6749. You'll call. Lynette will answer, and she will help you get registered. We have a patient portal that we go on that allows you to do all your paperwork, all that nasty paperwork before you come in. She'll get you registered with that. If you're coming in for IVs, you're going to have a consultation with Brian, and he's going to go over that health history that you give him, We're going to talk about what your needs are, whether you're healthy and just want to be more healthy, or whether you have some concerns. And then we have multiple protocols of vitamins and minerals, basically broken down to micronutrients levels that help us get to the core of the problems. So we also are bringing an integrative approach. It's not traditional Western medicine, but integrative approach to helping people find out why they're fatigued, why they are having these issues. So you'll do that paperwork on there so we can get to the core of what that problem is. And Lynette will help you get that scheduled, and you'll have that consultation.
What are the hours? What are the options?
Are Monday 9 to 3, Tuesday through Friday 9 to 6. So we try and stay later because some people are at work.
Yeah.
They can't get off right at 5.
Yeah.
So we work with that, and then we can do Saturdays by appointment only.
On that, if they want to make an appointment, how long does it take to get in?
Right now, we're just a couple of days out. During our busiest part, a few weeks ago with COVID, we were a week and a half apart.
Gotcha.
But right now we've got just a few days to get in.
Perfect. So they come in, they've done their online stuff, they're going to come in, check in with Lynette, have a consultation, and you're going to figure out what they're going to do at that point, or do they come in already knowing what they needed? How does that work?
Some of both. Some people kind of know what they want or what they would like to have. They may have had IV treatments other places in other towns. If not, and this is something that's brand new to them, then we'll take a few minutes to explain what it is so that give them time to answer some questions that they might have about what IV therapy is, and then we talk about different protocols that they might benefit from.
So do they have to kind of know when they come in so that they're going to have a therapy that day, or do they have a consultation and then set up their therapy? How does that work?
It can work both ways.
Okay.
So if they come in and we can talk about it, we can give them treatments on that very day.
Okay.
It's best if we can have a little bit of time so we can make sure that we've got supplies for them and that we've got the ingredients and the IVs that they would particularly want.
Oh, that makes sense.
And they said we do have a lot of different medications that we use in these IVs for treatment of a lot of different things. And that's why they have their consult with me, so I can understand what it is they're looking for, and also how we can best make sure that we're providing safe, healthy care for them.
That makes sense.
So,
makes sense.
One of the things I would like to add too is if you're coming in and you haven't seen a primary care for a while,
you're like you're reading my mind. Keep going.
We do offer cash-based discount labs. Or we can give you an order to use labs through your insurance. Because this is integrative medicine, insurances aren't on board.
Right.
It's not traditional. And so we are able to use HSA cards, health savings accounts. We can run flex spending account cards. And we are also getting ready to offer care credit, which is something a lot of people are familiar with.
Absolutely. Where if you have that, it's a specific credit card just for health.
Just for
stuff.
health, right.
Oh,
so then we
great.
can do that because it is not always cheap.
Right.
When you're doing your treatments, one and done doesn't do it. So if you want just an IV bar, this isn't your place.
Oh.
This is something that you need to be committed to. We're looking, for example, with our COVID recovery IVs twice a week for 3 to 4 weeks, because you're trying to heal the inside. You've got to take care of all the deficiencies and then build up again.
So that brings me to a really good question. How much is this going to cost? Does it range? I mean,
It does.
when we're talking about that, is there, we probably need to get into like, what are we talking? We talked about healthy people or people that are sick.
Right.
So what do you offer? What are we talking about offering? Let's say I am not sick. What would I come for?
So you'd come for a basic vitamin mineral IV. And we put in a lot of different ingredients that are just going to really help boost your energy up. It's going to help with recovering when you're working out and you're just really tearing your muscles down. We just have a lot of different things. And so the healthy IVs, we have injections too if people's vitamin D levels are low or they just need a B12 shot.
Does that happen in the winter?
It does happen in the winter.
Huge.
You said that makes me think of vitamin D. That is, someone
Right.
said in the winter when you get those wintry blues, it's a vitamin D thing.
Yeah,
Right.
we as Idahoans just don't spend as much time outside in the winter as we probably should.
Well,
Weird.
Yeah,
Strange.
it's
Yeah.
just so cold. But because we are so far above the equator, that even if we are outside during the summer, we're still not getting the maximum sunlight. And what is true is some of our bodies may not be able to convert that into vitamin D. And so, we do have the vitamin D shots. Our vitamin D levels are 50,000 units a shot, and that'll stay in your system about 3 to 4 weeks.
So how much would that cost?
The vitamin D
go
shots
idea.
right now are $30.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That's not what I expected. So that's really neat.
Yeah. We also do B12 shots that a lot of people will just do for their overall health and energy levels. Those are also $30. We have a variety of other shots that we can do along with our men's health and our weight loss. We have MIC injections. That one's a really popular one.
What is that? Sounds exciting.
It's called methanion, inositol, and choline. And it's
MIC.
MIC for
Wow.
short. And
What does that do?
Yes.
it really helps people that are working out. It helps increase energy.
You've just
and-
caught Tommy's attention right now.
Oh, right on. Good. So it really works best for people that are actively working out and trying to lose weight. And it helps to kind of liquefy the fat cells so that your body can break them down and eliminate them a little bit better. So
Now
we
you've
have-
caught my attention. So we're going to liquidate fat cells. Where do I sign up for that?
Yes.
Right here.
Right here. Lynette.
And meet Lynette.
And meet Lynette. Yes.
So in that, how much is that? Is that
It's about in that same range.
same range?
Yeah.
And do you do all of those on a regular basis? Can you come back on a regular
Yes.
basis,
We
or
would-
is it?
Yeah, we encourage people to come back on a regular basis, especially for people that have some vitamin D deficiencies, because most people don't really know that they have those deficiencies, and we like to make sure that people get those injections and get people started on supplements to kind of help keep them up.
So how would you know that this could benefit you? What are things that would happen? Like you said, this isn't really for sick people, right? So how do you know you would think, oh, I should go
You're
get a
healthy.
vitamin D injection?
Right. Seasonal depression, kind of feeling grumpy, out of sorts, not able to hit the gym, just different
Lack of enthusiasm.
lack of enthusiasm.
So if that
not
happens in
being
the summer as well,
yeah,
I'm not mentioning any names, that never wants to go to the gym. I'm asking for a friend.
right.
Yeah.
So you can tell your friend
Okay.
that a vitamin D level is a very easy thing to get. We can do a lab, just a quick blood draw, and see where you fall in that. Lots of people are amazed how low they are. In fact, we had a patient that we checked just this weekend who has been taking supplements and it's just not working for him, which brings us to another thing. IV therapy is amazing because it goes right into the bloodstream and right into the cells. It bypasses our gastrointestinal tract. And whether we know it or not, the majority of us have absorption issues.
It's interesting because that is something that you're always looking for the vitamin with the
Right.
best absorption, right? And that
Right.
eliminates this.
Yes.
Interesting.
We do have pharmaceutical grade supplements that we can help you get and purchase through a website called Full Scripts. And we carry a couple in here as well, the pure encapsulation forms. But in all honesty, if you do have gastrointestinal issues, those are going to be nice, but they're not going to get in.
Makes sense.
And that can be because of diet. It can be because of the environment. It can be because you have genetic disorders or other illnesses, which kind of lead us to the other side of our clinic. We first got
You're
started.
a pro at this. She's just leading us right along because you're just going to every question that's coming to my brain. So just keep going.
So we first got started. We had an opportunity to start this in 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. Who does that?
Yeah.
But we did. And we started with the IVs because of my personal background. I actually have a genetic disorder that we didn't know. First of all, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Then as we dug deeper, it's something called MTHFR. Yes, wonderful acronym, and
Yeah.
it makes you feel like that sometimes.
Well,
But-
fibromyalgia is rough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So my basic problem is that my B vitamins aren't getting into my cells. I may take a blood test and it will say your B12 is great. In fact, it's too high. Well, that's because it's staying in the bloodstream. It's not going into the cells because my body can't change it or methylate it to what my cells can use.
Wow.
And so we use a form here in the clinic that's already broken down. It's assimilated by most everybody.
Wow.
And that's how we got started, because he had seen how much it had helped me in the past. And we wanted to provide that here because we know there is a lot of need here in Idaho. People think of IVs and they think, well, that's what you get when you go in an emergency room.
Right.
But this is helping people preserve health, discover health, and maintain health.
So that leads me to really another question. In this, is this something a doctor would prescribe, or do you need to say, I need to investigate this myself?
Well, I'm not a doctor. I'm a nurse practitioner, so I have prescriptive privileges, so I can prescribe things if needed. And so the prescriptions that I provide for our patients, our clients, are ones that I write, and usually we deliver them here in our clinic. And like the IVs or men's health issues that we see men for, we write those prescriptions and deliver those treatments here in our clinic.
So this wouldn't be something that your doctor says you need to go for IV therapy. They might,
Sure.
They can.
but this okay. That's what I'm wondering. Is like, is this something that a doctor goes, you need IV therapy, or it's more something like, hey, things aren't working, I should think about IV therapy.
On both, you're correct on both of those, and both of those work for the IV therapy that we provide in here, and it's pretty simple. Like I said, we sit down, we evaluate your history to see what things you really are probably lacking or what things we can really provide for you. So we're not just shooting something out, that we're trying to take a more targeted approach at how we treat you and care for your health.
So can we see one of the rooms?
Absolutely.
And I have more
Absolutely.
questions when we get
Please,
there.
you
Take
betcha.
a look. So you come in, we check in with
We
Lynette.
check in with Lynette.
We
She
talk
takes
to
care
you,
of her.
and then
Yes.
we hook us up to the machine.
Well,
Right.
so then
Is this
what
like the
we do-
Matrix? I'm just checking.
Yeah, Matrix. Yep. No, and so when you're done with Brian, Lynette's going to come back in and talk to you about the financing. One of the questions you asked is, what are the prices? Our IVs range anywhere from $60 to quite a bit more.
Right.
And so it is an investment in your health. You need to be committed, because that's when you're going to get the best care. Like in Western medicine, they give you an antibiotic, and how many of us really finish it?
Right.
But that causes long-term problems. In integrative medicine, when you're prescribed something, Brian's going to give you the best protocol. This is going to be the best outcome.
Yeah.
And you need to grab onto that and hold it and work with it so that we can get to the bottom.
Makes sense.
So when that's done, if we have time to go ahead and mix, we can mix and get you right into a chair, or we will schedule you. This is the IV room that you would come into, so let's head in there.
Oh, this is lovely. Oh, it smells good in here.
So at this point right now, we can take 3 people at one time, or we can do IVs, and we just make them comfortable. We give them a warm blanket if they're a little bit cold, and we get your feet, we kick your feet back, we help you just relax, and then we put the IVs together. We mix them here, and then
Do I get to watch you mix them? Or does that happen in secret?
you can watch
Not
me mix
secret,
them
but...
right now. Yeah.
You could pull one up if you needed to.
It does take a little time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to spend all the
No,
time
no,
on doing
I'm
that,
just
but we can. Some of the things that we do, and a lot of people are worried about, what's the needle that I'm going to get.
Okay, so that's my next question, because I am pretty tough. I'm pretty sure I can gut an elk just fine. But you get a needle next to me, I will tear up and begin crying for no reason whatsoever. So I've been giving blood my whole life to get past it, and it just doesn't seem to go away.
Well, I need to jump in here.
Yes.
Brian's background, back in the day when we were younger and we had more hair and it was a different color. He started out as a paramedic, and he learned how to do IVs in the back of an ambulance in Georgia. He is good. He went on then to get all these different nursing degrees and worked as a life flight nurse down in St. George. He was the one, when they couldn't stick on the floors, floor nurses would call. So you were in capable hands.
That is really good to know, because that is a worry.
It is.
That second stick, which has happened a lot to me, I am almost at my point.
Yeah,
Right.
Once it's in and done, I'm good, right?
We're done after that.
Yeah, I am on the emotional collapse at that point.
Yeah.
So what we like to do is create a calming atmosphere in here. Like you said, we have a blanket warmer, we get all comfortable,
Yeah.
we've got water, juices, treats, different things. You sit in the chair, you relax, we get that going, run the IV, and just help your body assimilate that in there.
In most cases, the IVs will run in over about 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So we will infuse them as fast as we can, but there are sometimes when we do have to slow them down a little bit. But most of the time, we can infuse them in about 45 minutes.
When you say infuse, that means get them into me.
Yeah,
Right.
get them into
Right
you.
through
We're going to get the
your
fluids into
vein.
your veins. It should take about 45 minutes.
Do you
for
have
this
any, after you're done, is there any issues of driving or going? Are you ready
Not
to
as
rock
far
and
as you
roll?
can drive after every
Okay.
one of the IVs that we provide for you. There's no problems as far as having anything that would prevent you from driving. Most people can walk out of here and drive without any issues at all. I shouldn't say most people, all people can, because we're not
They're
giving them anything in there
vitamins and
that is
minerals.
going to be preventing them from being able to drive.
Gotcha. So there's not like a drowsy effect to anything
No,
or those kind
no.
of things. Gotcha.
We do have the option, as we've had people come in that have not been feeling well, we do have the option, because of his prescriptive license, to go ahead and help people with Toradol or Zofran for migraines or upset stomachs.
Oh, interesting.
One of the things that we found during COVID was a lot of people had that nausea and those migraines. So we were able to do that. So if you are getting something, if you have a headache and migraine and you need something for pain, you may want to have someone come and help drive you home. But the majority of our IVs are just the vitamin and minerals broken down to what we call a micronutrient level, so that they're assimilated and they don't have any after effects or side effects on this part of the floor.
Makes sense. So I have a question we talked about a little earlier. You said men's health. So we've talked about what you would come in if you're not sick, right? All this. So what do you mean men's health? What are we talking about?
So men are really, really good. Most of them don't take very good care of themselves. And what we do is we run a lot of hormone checks. We check hormones. Check basically a lab panel that looks at general health issues that men may have.
Gotcha.
And then we treat them with hormones, testosterone. We can do things if they have some issues with ED or rectal dysfunction, and just try to get men feeling better, because they get to the point where they're just like, man, I'm just getting old. And there is some truth to that, but a lot of times it's that hormones, they're just not balanced. And so we look at those and we will kind of help guide them through treatment plans as far as helping to improve their overall well-being. And we do that through checking their hormones and giving them help with the...
So do they have to start at a doctor first? If they just don't feel, if they're not feeling that,
No.
that they can just say, listen, I'm going to come in and talk about what my issues might be.
Absolutely.
And then you're like, let's take it from there.
We do. Exactly
So
that.
I might mention, I'm going to just take a license right here. Women, if your husbands
Yes.
are doing this and they won't go in, this is the thing to say,
Yes.
we're going to go in.
Right.
Yes.
Because sometimes it takes that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it
It
does.
does.
I'm not saying wives or girlfriends or daughters. Anybody.
No.
Sometimes
No.
they need a...
They need a boost.
And with the
Yeah.
men's health, it's a similar thing. You would call, make an appointment with Lynette. When you come in for men's health, your first initial consult is free. It's like 15 minutes. There's a form, questions that they're going to ask that helps Brian know, hey, we've got something going on here.
Yeah.
Then we offer the in-house labs that we can do to pull that, or give the order that you can run through your insurance. Then based upon that, Brian will set up a monthly program for that individual.
How much would labs be if you're not
You're
paying for
coming in
insurance?
to have labs through our clinic. We run a panel of about 15 labs, and it's $225 for the labs.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good panel, covers a lot of different labs that we check.
Makes sense.
And then if you only need one, the testosterone, depending on the dose you need, it's only $135 a month, and it gets shipped to your house, or we can help you.
We can give you your shots
if you're
here.
needle apprehensive,
Your needle phobic.
Yeah.
Your needle phobic.
Yeah.
we can do that here. You can just you know, I'm coming in every Friday, we put you on the schedule, and that's also covered in the $135 a month.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so men's health, wellness, vitamins, but we also talked about, you guys said, weight loss.
We do.
Like, what is that? What's that all about?
So weight loss, we'll sit down with you and we'll evaluate what your goals are, how far you want to drop down. We'll look at what your nutrition status is. We'll put together a formula as far as calorie reduction and daily calorie intake. And then we'll talk about some different plans with lots of different medications that we can use. The best thing for weight loss is getting up and getting moving. And we'll talk about a few of those things about how and what you're going to do to kind of get yourself moving. Then we can add into there other things like medications that help with weight loss. There's lots of new medications that are out there now that really are showing promising results with people losing 15 to 20% of their body weight. And there's some great medications that are out there.
How long is that kind of a plan? If someone says, listen, I'm ready to come in and do this.
On a weight loss plan like that, you need to plan on about 13 weeks at the minimum. And most people get down quite far on their weight loss goals, but oftentimes we have to kind of push those goals out for 6 months and see. And we customize those plans so that they're individualized for each individual, because everybody's different and everybody loses weight differently and everybody gains weight differently. So we try to take a more personalized approach and just say, okay, this might work for you, but we have these other things that don't. But the number one thing that people need to do is just get moving. And
along with that, we do have connections with different nutritionists in the area that like to look at the whole body function as well. When we're talking medications, a lot of these medications aren't scary controlled. I mean, they are a controlled substance, but there are a lot that are called peptides, and those are just broken down molecules that our bodies naturally produce, but maybe they're not producing them anymore. And so a lot of the new medications that we look at are some of the less invasive or less, shall I say, have less stigma to them than some of the traditional ones that we're used to hearing with weight loss.
Gotcha. And well, and as I think about what you're saying is also if you have that vitamin D deficiency or those kind of things, it's also a reason why you don't get moving too. And that might all, I think about as you guys are talking, that would make sense. All of that together could help with the motivation, with the feeling, as well as the plan.
It all encompasses your whole health.
Yeah.
So, and that's just what exciting about this is. It's exciting to see people start feeling better.
Yeah.
And getting their strength back and getting up and getting moving.
We do also have a product called NAD. Would you say the whole word for me?
It's called...
Because I can't remember.
She's like, you say it.
You say it, yes.
It's called nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. That's why it's abbreviated as NAD.
Yeah.
It's something that's catching a lot of people's attention, especially during COVID. It is an IV product that our bodies, again, will naturally make, but as we age or if we have other genetic problems, it decreases, and it's really important functioning in our body, helping with our brain, helping all the cells work correctly. And it's used for different things. In fact, it's used for anything from COVID recovery to neuropathy to pain, chronic pain.
Some people
even use it for beauty and aesthetics.
Some people, that particular IV is kind of getting the name that it's the anti-aging IV. And it's becoming very popular in some larger communities. It's not very well known here in Idaho Falls, but we're starting to see a little bit more information being out there about what NAD is. So NADs are they're very interesting infusions. They're not the ones that are quicker. They take a little bit longer to infuse that medication in.
So not to scare anybody off, but if you see NAD at other IV places, they're more often than not just giving you the initial doses. With our protocols, it is an 8-week program, and you get up to high doses, and you actually have to spend a lot of time in the chair. But that being said, we've had a lot of wonderful experiences from it. We've had people who have had such pain and fibro issues that their nerves are so raw that they can hardly be touched, find extreme extreme relief after even just the first dose. So, and then again, the anti-aging aspects of it.
Interesting.
Working with our bodies
Well,
and helping us become younger. That fountain of youth.
I like that.
Yes.
We all want it, right?
You're like, that's great. So you mentioned COVID. So we haven't talked about like therapies for people. Let's walk this way. When we talk about therapies for people who are ill, what kind of therapies, if you are ill, what would someone come here for illness?
Well, we would see, any of the chronic illnesses. We can walk this way and show you another room.
Sure.
The chronic illnesses like myself with a fibromyalgia, also gastrointestinal issues, Crohn's, those different types of things. Also depression, anxiety, anywhere from... So this is one of our rooms, and this is another product, a room that we use for another IV treatment. It's called ketamine. Do you want to...
Sure. So ketamine's a medication that
is this illegal? Should we be saying this on video?
No,
I'm just
totally
kidding.
illegal. No,
it actually is
it
not
has
illegal.
gotten a bad name.
Ketamine has been around for a very long time, and over the last 10 to 15 years, they have done a lot of research on what ketamine can do for people, and it has been shown to make amazing improvements in people with chronic depression and severe anxiety, and those things that are very resistant to typical Western or typical medication treatments.
Yeah.
And so ketamine is also being used for some people that have some chronic pain issues, and those people that have chronic pain issues that are getting ketamine infusions, those are a lot longer infusions than people that are taking or using ketamine for mood disorders. So in a ketamine infusion, we established if ketamine is the right medication for you. I strongly recommend that people have a mental health therapist that they work with when they do this, because ketamine unlocks a lot of things inside their brain and their mind that may resurface a lot of traumas or things that they have dealt with in the past. And so to be able to have the best therapeutic effect of ketamine is to be able to meet with their therapist within the next day, if they can, to talk about some of the things that ketamine is bringing up. Because
it treats depression, so I imagine when you're looking at that, there is effect. That makes sense.
So it is one of those medications. It's a very intense therapy. We put you on a cardiac monitor, and we put an IV in your arm, and this is our ketamine room. And so we have a nurse in here, myself.
I'd like you to meet the nurse.
Yeah.
I'm the nurse.
Me.
And we monitor this infusion for the mood infusions. They last about 40 minutes. And then that is one that people do need to have a ride home. They can't drive after having a ketamine infusion for 24 hours. But it is showing, there's lots and lots of research out there and data that is showing how effective ketamine is in the mental health community.
Wow.
And so this is something that we started bringing into our clinic last May. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So that leads me to mental health, because I know you've got other services that go along with that. How does that, what else are we talking about?
So we started with the ketamine, like you said, in May. We didn't want to be just, because you can get this sometimes at anesthesia places, we didn't want to do that. We knew that was so critical to have that combination therapy. So we brought in a licensed clinical social worker. Her name's Cami Harvey, and she has her own business with Mindful Journey. You can check that out as well. But she does operate in here, and we have her
in this office.
Yes, down at the other room.
Let's walk that way.
Okay, we'll show you her office. But so with that, she provides and sees her patients independent of what we do with ketamine, but she has also just been certified with sound healing, so she'll use drumming and different music, different modalities. She's very well-rounded in the different modalities that she uses. She sees individuals, she sees families, and she sees couples. And you can see her, and this is her room.
Oh, this is very pretty.
Yes. So she uses a crystal bowl sometimes just to get people grounded, and she's very talented in this area. So
wow, and a little soundboard. Wow, this is neat.
Yes, and so she is here, and So again, she sees her own patients here, but if we do have someone interested in ketamine and they don't have an established medical provider, we refer to her, and then if she has patients that are prepared and ready for ketamine, then we can do that as well.
That was, you're again reading my mind. If you don't have a provider, and this is something that this is a great referral right in-house, that's a really neat thing.
Yes, because it's just about safety. You know, that ketamine is healing not only your mental, emotional state, but it's actually healing the brain synapse. So it's working on different levels of that whole person again. And then we have some clients who will actually do vitamin and mineral IVs as they're waking up, just to help with the anxiety and different things when they're done.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Who knew all of this? This is amazing
We've
stuff.
learned a lot over the years.
Oh my word, it's amazing.
Yes.
So in this, okay, what did we miss? So we've got, as of now, we've got vitamins and minerals for when you're wellness, B, D. We've got men's health. We've got COVID treatment.
Yes.
We didn't cover that. What is that about?
So it's not the micro antibodies.
Monoclonal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which the FDA has now pulled out. But it is a combination of micronutrients, vitamin C, B complex, magnesium, calcium, selenium, zinc, a vitamin D shot, and B12 injections that we have seen literal miracles happen.
Wow.
With getting people not only after that 10-day period that they've had it and have come, but we've had long haulers that have been suffering for over a year and not being able to pull out of it. Walk down the stairs, or we do provide home visits as well. We can bring it to you.
Some of those long haulers are it is rough.
It is really rough.
Yeah.
And they've been in bed and had to do a telehealth initial consult.
Yeah.
And then by their second or third IV, they're walking down the stairs and getting it. And so that is one of the things we never thought you would be able to.
We didn't think that monster COVID would actually be something that kind of helped us along.
Yeah, great time to start when you have COVID treatment.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So in that, when someone has that, let's say somebody right now is they're not pulling out of the COVID, right? I know a couple people that are just like, I just can't quite get back to myself. What time frame would they do that treatment, and how much does that cost?
Go ahead.
Okay, so our COVID treatments are usually 2 times a week for at least 4 weeks, and then you're evaluated. I like to think of it as a well. The COVID's come in and it's taken all the water out, but it also takes all the ground source water out that would feed the well. So we're treating that ground source water and then filling up the well. So that's why it is so intense. And right now, those treatments are $240 to $260 a time. So, and then after that 4 weeks, you evaluate every how you're doing.
So you need to kind of plan. You're running about 500 a week, and your 4-week program minimum, kind of that ballpark.
Right.
3 to 4.
3 to 4.
Yes.
Okay.
And we do sell packages where if they pay in advance, we take off 10%.
Oh, nice.
So that's...
But I mean, if you can't get back, that seems like a very small price to pay to get pulled out of it.
Right.
Which is, I've seen people that are just struggling.
And, people have high deductibles on their insurance, and traditional things aren't working. And so they're willing to invest that money to be able to feel human again and be able to get back to life.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, what else did we miss?
I think we covered it.
Wow, that's amazing. This you guys offer, that's amazing. So by the way, all of this stuff that we just covered, there's a link to their website down below. So you can go and check it out or call in. Probably a great time to ask questions. Lynette is here to take your call. I've been working on saying Lynette this entire time because you guys know I forget names all the time. So in that idea, if they just have an idea, I don't know if this is going to work for me, let me call in and say, this is what's going on with me. Is there anything to help? They could do that.
Absolutely.
Call in. Is there online booking or is everything call?
It's called in right now.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So they need to call in. They can go and look on the website, but the call is the first step. That's awesome.
It's easy.
It's so easy.
It's so easy.
I mean, and if you're not feeling well, there is nothing worse than that in any way. So awesome. I love that idea of the we just were talking about that at our company. Is like we've had some people move here from California. No booing. And they're like, I've never experienced this winter blues.
Right.
I'm not, like, they didn't even think that was really ever good. And she was saying, I have that. She goes, what is this? What is going on? You know? And that would be if you come from a place where you're outside all the time to Idaho, it's going to be a different experience.
Very much so.
And it
Very
could
much
affect
so,
you.
yeah.
So, awesome. All right, you guys, check it out. Again, we're over here at Mountain River IV Wellness, Health and Wellness, right here off of 25th. Super easy to find. Give them a call. There's a link to it below. Man, really, really cool. Thanks, you guys, for sharing.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Amazing,
Thank
amazing.
you
All
very much.
right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, you guys. This has been Jessica Carden with Murdoch Marine Company, your nosy neighbors, keeping you in the know.